The round 12 preview for AFL Today is here. Leo, what are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm not looking forward to it, but my beloved Hawks playing Collingwood Friday night. It's set to be great. Can Guinea step up against his old mob?
Ooh. I'm looking at not only why Max Gawn could, but should win the Brownlow medal.
Jeez.
That is a great call. The AFL Today Show starts right now. Welcome back to the AFL Today Show, brought to you by Stockard, here for all of your round 12 preview needs. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. We've got the crew back together, the three amigos all together on the couch. Liam Mullaly, I'll start with him in the corner.
How we doing?
Very good. They're already a bit touchy-feely. Marcus Bazzano, he's back.
I'm back.
I don't know what's going on with his car, but he is here. How you going?
What's going on with my car is that it's getting folded in half right now, Breaking Bad style.
Oh, jeez. I would like to see you fold Leo in half as well. That'd be great.
What does that mean?
Just in a wrestling match. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be good. Another awesome show as we delve into the tips, matchup stats and debates. We got the locks, big calls. We're going to get some big calls right this week, I reckon.
Yeah.
Oh,
sure.
There's the confidence.
I hope so.
No, we will. And the locks, I think we got it right, Marcus and myself. Leo's one was void.
Yes.
So
I think he should do a punishment.
No, we're not going to do a punishment until the end of the season when we tally them all
Alright,
up.
fine. I'll go out on a date with you, Marcus. God.
Are you going to do that? I thought you were going to do that anyway. Anyway, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's AFL Today Show, and hit the notifications bell. It goes a long way. Follow AFL Today AU across all the socials, except for Facebook. That's Aussie Rules Today. And that includes, we got some posts up there, the Yeah Beers post, which will be up later today as well. Is there a little teaser there, Leo?
Yeah, that will be out later today.
That'll be out later today. I was going to say topic or anything. Not yet.
We haven't worked out. TBD.
No worries. But check that out on the social. You can win some merch. You can win some shirts and beers and things like that, which is all good fun. And of course, get around us wherever you get your podcast on all the podcast platforms. All right. Round 12 is here, lads. Here we go. It's a big round as well. Round 12 previews. Thursday night footy. We love it. We absolutely love it, except if you're I don't know about the Essendon fans here, but Brisbane versus Essendon, Thursday night, 7:30 at the Gabba. Leo, this is your one.
This is my one, and the biggest talking point is the injuries to the Essendon back line.
Brutal, isn't it?
No Zach Reid, no Ben Mackay, obviously been without Ridley for 4 weeks now, 3 weeks now, and then no Lewis Hayes as well going down injured. So you can't pick anyone in the mid-season draft either, which I think is a bit of a farce. I think you should be allowed to...
Well, we can pick 4 of them, we just can't play them.
Yeah, so that's what I meant. I think that's a bit stupid from the AFL. I think you should be allowed to play them.
Yeah, surely you can play them straight away. Like it's you I was going to say own the player. You pay them money.
Okay.
You're paying them money straight away anyway. So
yeah.
I guess, is it because of like different things they have to sign or like build up into the AFL? I don't know.
Who knows? There's probably a deeper meaning, but I want to give a question to the panel.
Oh, okay.
How ruthless, with considering these Essendon injuries, how ruthless do we think Brisbane are going to be at home, considering last time they lost to Melbourne at the Gabba? They're coming off probably the best win of the season, Brisbane, whereas Essendon are sort of just going along. How ruthless can they be at home?
You go, Marcus.
Oh, I think they have to bounce back. Well, they don't have to bounce. Well, at home, obviously, they lost to the Demons, but they had the best performance of the season, obviously, last week. And I think this is where they hit their stride. Towards the back end of the year, this is where they hit September really strong and obviously stake their claim for obviously the double chance and home finals.
Yeah, I think the big win last week will be like, oh, crap, we're actually really good. Like they might have lost a tiny bit of confidence. I know they won the flag and things like that, but they'll be like, oh, we're actually really good. We're going to just come out here and absolutely smash. I think that was the flick of the switch last week because that's a huge win against Hawthorn, and they just needed that. Like even if they beat some of those teams, like if they just beat Melbourne, even if they got over North, at least they know they're winning. And they've got that win against Hawks. I reckon they'll be all right.
Yeah, it was a complete performance, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, is this the dangerous thing of can they get up for this game? Because Brisbane and Tassie, they sort of underwhelming there.
It's Thursday night footy though.
Thursday night footy, I know, but playing against a depleted Essendon side where they are $5 favourites.
You could get a job done in the back line, I reckon, Marcus.
Yeah,
I'm close. I don't quite crack the 190, 187, so I don't qualify.
Oh, that's right.
Damn,
that's not what your Hinge profile says.
Yeah, well, Hinge profile says 6'6", so 2 measurements.
Yeah, anything else, Leo, on this one?
I question Essendon's scoring power on this one. So
yeah,
I think, Marcus, you raised that there's not the best record when it comes to kicking 80 points this season.
No, I just think in general, kicking a winnable score for the Bombers, they've only kicked 80 points or more on 2 occasions since round 2, and that round 2 game was kicking 100 points in a 10-goal loss to Adelaide. So
yeah, and the other one was Richmond, right, on the weekend?
And the other, Richmond 81, and then there was also I think we might have scrapped. Can't remember exactly who the other one was against. But
yeah, even against some poor opposition, you're not
You've gotten
scoring
close a
big.
few times.
Yeah.
so kicking a winnable score against Brisbane at the Gabba looks like it's not going to be done. And then as well as keeping them to a minimal score if they do look to cause an upset with defensive injuries and defensive woes that you mentioned. Either or is not looking great.
No, I got a stat on that. You got Brisbane, who was the 4th ranked defense, and then Essendon, the 16th ranked offense, which backs up the stat of the 80 points there. Like, that's a real worry. Like, you obviously got a worry in defense, but then you got the worries on offense. Like Peter Wright, 2 metre, he needs to step up. He needs to step. Katie's been solid.
I'd like to see Kako as well.
Kako,
obviously a young player, so we're not going to be too harsh on him.
No.
But it'd just be good to watch if he kicked a couple of goals.
Yeah, well, leading goal kicker Kyle Langford as well. Last season, leading goal kicker Kyle Langford injured against Richmond, so he's also out.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's fun.
How fun.
Keeping it fun and
How
fresh.
fun.
Yeah,
But
and then-
more debutants though. Zach Johnson comes in.
You don't mind a bit of Zach Johnson, apparently?
Yeah, he's just a collector. Apparently, he's very calm on the ball. He loves the posies, but he's very calm and collected on the ball, which is what you want in a young player.
Yeah,
don't mind
I
it.
reckon Brisbane are building confidence. Charlie Cameron might have another good game. If he can kick 3 against the Hawks in a quarter, I reckon he could do that against the Bombers almost every quarter. He's an absolute freak when he's at his best. All right, we're getting tips and margin, lads.
Yes,
Happy
let's
with
do
that, Leo? Tips?
I think Lions by around 47, I'll say.
47. All right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Marcus?
Lions by 80
80.
minimum.
Do you reckon 100 plus
minimum.
could be on the cards? Possibly.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't
It'll be
know.
the first 100 plus margin of the season, and I think
That
you can.
surprises me.
I think it is, isn't it? So I think genuinely, this could come on Thursday night, which is why Thursday night watching your team on a Thursday night. I love Thursday night footy, but I hate watching my team play on Thursday night because then you got the rest of the weekend of nothing.
See, I don't mind
Yeah, but
that,
I
'cause
like
then by
it, yeah.
Sunday, it's like everyone's forgotten about
Yeah,
the
North
crap
lost on a
performance.
Thursday night and to Essendon, and everyone forgot by Monday. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, but
Kane Collins is like, what the hell?
No, Kane Collins still would have had a go. He hates it. I'm going to go then by 50 points. I think, I'm not sure if Brisbane are there yet to be that huge, dominant 80-plus type of side just yet.
Really?
But they'll get a big win just because of Essendon has so many outs. Like, Essendon, they keep finding ways to win. But this is, with so many outs, they're cooked, I reckon. All right, Friday night footy, here we go. This is the game of the round. I'm calling it here. Collingwood versus Hawthorn, Friday night, 7:40 at the MCG. Leo is already crapping his pants for this one as a Hawks fan. And
Ooh,
Marcus, this
Don't
is your
check
game.
my diaper.
This is a big Friday night, and it is the game of the round, isn't it?
We're not really
is-
sport for
do-
choice, but yes.
Like, obviously, there's that storyline where it's Guinea versus Collingwood. Do we still read that as the storyline?
I think it's
Because
definitely
when
a
I think about
storyline.
the game this weekend or on Friday night,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think about Guinea versus Collingwood.
I don't know. He hasn't been that good, so maybe that doesn't
Well,
help.
that reads in-
what are you thinking about?
Oh no, I'm just thinking about all the Collingwood ins and Hawthorn's frailties at the moment. I think there's a lot of question marks over the Hawks,
Yeah,
especially
definitely.
over this hard run. But Collingwood, they're set to regain. Still side bottom. Pendles and Bobby Hill were laid out before the North game. They'll come back in. Not to mention Darcy Moore as well, just to shore up that defense. Even though Stats Guy, you've had a look at their defensive stats. Do they have they really missed him?
No, they haven't. Like Billy Frampton he's the lock of their defense. They're number one still in defense, and they haven't had Darcy Moore the last couple of weeks. And I don't think they've missed him too much. I think Darcy Moore is good at the intercept marks and sometimes sets up their play. I don't know if he's still got that one-on-one capability that he used to have, but he definitely helps. He definitely helps their side when he's back there. But they're still number one defense, so that's a big one for the Hawks, who haven't found as many goals they want on offense, I reckon, as well.
It's all right. Charles going to kick 5 on it.
Charles going to kick 5 big.
Chol legacy game.
Chol legacy.
game. I don't
He's
know
had
if
a few legacy games, Chol.
I don't think he's kicked 5 for Hawthorn. Or even in his career yet. So let's
What?
start for
in a game?
In a
You
game,
reckon?
yeah. No, not for the season, mate.
But
Obviously.
Braden Maynard is out for the Pies with his foot injury, but that just means Oleg Markov, he keeps his spot in the side. He's actually been playing not bad.
Oh, I love these celebrations. Did you see why he was running around like
Yeah,
this?
'cause of
his
his,
little
son? Lenny.
Yeah, Lenny, his little son was first steps was walking around like that. I was like, this guy is the best. And he does run around. He got a couple of goals in the VFL and he was doing some funny celebrations. He's got the ringmaster's mustache.
Well,
Everything about him I just love.
Is he going to do like a Guinea celebration because that's his son? If he plays on him kicking a goal.
That's not bad, you know. That's not bad.
What? A guy that's...
Quainer will go to Wizards, so I reckon Markov to Guinea's a good matchup.
Oh no! Could this be the game where the Hawks players step up, because they have a fantastic record?
Do they?
Over Collingwood?
Okay.
In recent times, they've won 15 of the last 17 against Collingwood at the MCG.
That was when the Hawks were even like dropped off for like a year or two as well.
Both sides were impressive.
Yeah.
throughout the early teens as well.
That's bloody awesome.
Yeah.
The record with Will Day though, with and without Will Day, is very concerning.
Leo's been dreaming about Will Day for weeks and weeks.
As soon as he got drafted, I dreamt about him.
How old was he when he got drafted?
Don't know.
Ill suspicious.
16-4 with Will Day, 6-10 without Will Day.
6-10.
There is a reliance on him, and I think a lot of Hawks people hate to admit that, but he's just sort of that mid that can break it open. Like, you look at our midfield now, it's not a bad midfield, but it's been struggling. It's been struggling, and it doesn't have that real game breaker in there. And I think that's why we are rumoured to be going after Zach Butters and Harley Reid as well.
Highlighted on the weekend against Brisbane.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
midfield depth when you play against top quality opposition who can just roll like that, you struggle a little bit. And you look at what on the flip side for Collingwood, Ned Long is one of those players where you're like, wow, he's excelled into a top quality player.
From Hawthorn as well, which we touched on.
From Hawthorn as well, but he's a top quality player. Like, we look at Hawthorn, it's like, can Connor Nash be that Ned Long sort of type where he could just excel like that out of nowhere? Probably just players like that need to step up a little bit for them to get the job done. I think.
No, good call.
I definitely agree.
You definitely not just agree, he definitely agrees. There we go. There we go. I'm excited to watch Josh Weddle. I think he loves the open space, and he's been playing everywhere. I've talked about him on the weekend. Anywhere they put him at the moment, he's doing well. So I'm very excited to watch him.
Can I pose a question? Just a quick one.
Sure.
Does McGuinness play in tag Dacos?
Oh, he's done a good job on him before.
Because he was sub last week.
Do you bring McGuinness on for the field just for one game of the year just to tag
Well, he's
Dacos?
played most of the season, but
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to get back in the side. I don't know. Anyway,
he was meant to not play last week and was a late inclusion for sub. I think we have to. We didn't last year. We actually made him sub against the Pies last year, and it worked because we won.
Yeah.
But I think we just have to do it. It worked.
I think every team should. Like,
if you've got the player to do it.
Yeah, like even North, I was mad about Will Phillips last week, but we don't want to touch on that again.
McGuinness has the endurance, I think, to go with Dacos, but it's just another beast, isn't it, Nick Dacos? So I would try it, and if it doesn't work, we just have options. In place. But
there we go. The coach's hat over there. All right, tips and margin, Leo.
Pies by 16.
Oh, you're not tipping your Hawkers?
I think we'll fire up for it, but they just know they know what to do to win.
Yeah, fair enough.
They know what to do to win.
Collingwood are making it look easy at the moment, and I'm just a little bit concerned with the Hawks.
Only a little. I'm very.
We still got Adelaide and the Western Bulldogs.
That's
to
tough.
come before your bye.
That's
a tough fixture. So you're going to have to, if they don't get the win here and they lose both those games, you could realistically see yourselves outside the 8.
Yeah, for sure.
And cop a little percentage.
Yeah, the percentages are good
by the bye. So hopefully post by the form. That's when the form comes towards September for the Hawks. But I'm going to Pies by 5 goals.
5 goals?
Yeah. Players back in. They're doing it easy.
So, yeah, I'm going to tip Pies just by 2 goals, just because I underestimated them in Darwin. I thought that was the game where they could get smashed. They've got a few players back since then. So I'm going to say they're going to keep it close to Hawks. The Hawks know how to keep it close. They're still a good side, I think, even though they've only beaten one team in the 8. But the Pies know how to get the job done in close games. So Pies by 2 goals. All right, let's get into Saturday. This is my game. Gold Coast versus Freo. Saturday, 1:20 at People's First Stadium. This is going to be a real fun matchup. Real fun midfield battle. That's where I want to start in this one. You got, I don't actually know if these are the exact matchups, but I'm just putting them in my head. Tuke Miller versus Brayshaw. Real versus Sarong. Anderson versus Bolton, who's been going through there. Just stars galore.
Brayshaw.
What was that?
Oh, you said Brayshaw.
Yeah. The first player I said was Brayshaw. Come on, mate.
Yeah, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Come on, mate.
Anyway, this is going to be so fun, and just guys that accumulate the ball, guys that run both ways, get a lot of tackles. What do you guys think? I think it's going to be good fun.
This will be good. Yeah, I reckon. Why are you laughing at that? The midfield battle will be really good and exciting to watch.
Yes.
In this one. Are conditions, though, going to play a bit of a...
Yeah, so usually Jane Bunn over here, Marcus Bazzano, is pretty good with this. But the wet weather, both teams have won multiple games in tough conditions. So you got Gold Coast in greasy conditions, but pretty similar to wet conditions. And then Freo, I think, beat Port and someone else, I think, was it? I'm trying to remember who it was, but in wet conditions as well.
Even the GWS game was a little bit...
GWS, that's it. Who do you guys reckon is more suited to the wet conditions? I'm leaning towards Gold Coast because if they can do it in Darwin, I think that's harder than the rain. It's so slippery up there. What do you guys think?
It's a tough one, I
I
think.
think it's an easy one to be honest. I think
Really?
Gold Coast for sure.
Yeah?
In Queensland, where it's a traditionally like a monsoony sort of state,
Yeah.
versus Fremantle
True.
out west, where it's.
But if we're
nice and
talking
sunny.
player types, I'd argue like the likes of Sarong and Brayshaw are probably more equipped to it. And I think the way the Suns play, like a lot of reliance on Rioli
Good
and
ball
Noble this
movement, yeah.
season, using their leg speed, they might not get that luxury.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a tricky one.
I don't know what will be higher, the disposals between the 6 that you mentioned or an unknown Brayshaw's missos tally in a day.
Well, yeah, that is a rogue shout. I know exactly what he's talking about, but I'm going to swiftly move on to that one.
I have no idea what he just said.
Freo back is the big one I wanted to ask as well. They've won their last 2. Luke Jackson's turned into his unicorn self without Sean Darcy, which we touched on last week's show. Shai Bolton's firing. I think, though, this is the one where we realise exactly where Freo are at. If they've got confidence, if they can keep it close against Gold Coast, they don't have to win.
They win this, though.
If they win this, then you're like, wow, top 8 for sure. But if they lose this and it's a close game, I still think they're on the right trajectory. What do you guys think?
Yeah, they can't get smashed, can they?
No.
That would be worst case, and we go like, oh, well, Freo aren't back.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world if they lose to Gold Coast. Gold Coast have shown that they're a very good side this
At
season,
home.
but you're right, they can't get brushed aside very easily. Like, they still got to put in a workmanlike performance and keep it close.
Yep. No, good call. I got some stats for you. Gold Coast have won the last 8 home matches when playing with a rest advantage. So they even had a rest advantage away last week, but they don't mind a bit of an extra rest. So they love a good win at home there. The last 6 meetings as well have been all won by the home teams. So this one's obviously on the Gold Coast. They'll be loving that stat. And 6 of the last 7 meetings have been under 165 points. So usually low scoring. The defenses usually step up. Because even Freo, they have a lot of guys that run off. So not always the best defense. Gold Coast play very attacking footy, even in Darwin when the Hawks scored 96, the Dogs scored around that as well.
Yep.
But do we think, even forget the conditions, do we think that teams go on their shoulder? But I think this could still be pretty high scoring, even if it's a bit wet.
Well,
Yeah.
Fremantle's defence is boosted now, even with Alex Pearce getting off his suspension, his 3-week suspension. So that's a big, obviously, return. Big return to the side because he escaped that suspension.
Yes.
Against the likes of Hogan, etc.
Yeah. What do we think about that? I think that finally the AFL have finally done the right decision. They've gone, he's looking at the footy. He wasn't trying to hurt the man at all. Oh, he got concussed. Don't worry. It was an accident and he got off the suspension and Paul Curtis is still robbed. What do we think about this one?
You have to just bring that up. Let it go, bro.
I can't.
Put
It's
the
a
fries in the
disgrace.
bag.
It's
Let it
still
go,
crying. I don't know if the fries in the bag
Just
reference
put it
is
in the
right there.
bag, bro.
I think that
Right decision reached.
but they need to do it with more. All I'm saying is I think they need to. There's still inconsistency there. Why has that one gotten off and others haven't?
Because you just got to let it go.
2-week suspensions don't exist.
Yeah, it's just 3 or nothing.
Oh, yeah, we haven't had one in a while.
Well, it's either 1 or 3.
Marcus
or nothing.
might get a 2-week suspension for some references on this show, but that's about it. Tips and margin, lads. Gold Coast Freo. Who you got, Leo?
Suns 14. Freo won't disgrace themselves.
Yep. Marcus.
I'm going to go Gold Coast by 4 goals.
4 goals. Do you think it could be close and they might kick away at the end? Or
No, I think it'll be a cruisy sort of performance. I'm still not sold on Fremantle.
Fair enough. I'm going to go Gold Coast by 8 points. I've been impressed by Freo. I think if it's wet, might keep it a little bit closer than the score suggests. And even Gold Coast have had a lot of close games, so I reckon there'll be a close one up on the Gold Coast. All right, next one on Saturday, GWS versus Richmond. Saturday, 4:15, back at NG Stadium. Leo, you're on.
This is my one. Question for the panel.
Oh, you love it. Question for the panel. This is good. This is good.
All right, I'm going to ask myself, how ruthless can GWS be after a strong win at Marvel last week? I think they're going to be very ruthless in this. And I think they'll take no prisoners. No, maybe not.
No, I agree
I
with
haven't
that.
sold myself on
They
it.
don't have to be ruthless, though, to get over this Richmond side at home.
True.
So I feel like it's just a cruisy win. As long as they win, get a little percentage boost, avoid any injuries.
What if they just come out and kick the first 6? That's ruthless.
That is ruthless.
That's pretty
but
beast
then
mode.
again, I wouldn't be expecting them to do that.
No,
To be
okay.
a top side to come
Yeah,
into the
fair.
season.
yeah, I think they can be pretty ruthless. Like they were filthy that they lost to. They lose to
Freo.
Freo. They should
Yeah,
not have lost to
at
Freo at home. They hadn't had a home game for ages since the start of the season. I think they'll want to prove to especially their home fans and just the league that NG is not not an easy place to play.
Do they have a weird record at NG? Or is it all right?
So their record is all right, but the last meeting against Richmond won, and that was only in 2023.
Okay.
So Richmond won the last meeting at NG, but they've won 5 of their last 7 there. So usually they're pretty powerful there.
Well, sort of going against Richmond beating them last time at NG. Richmond have lost their last 10 on the road. It's
Not ideal.
You got Lawler out with a hammy, not ideal.
Yeah,
You got Bolter out because he can't go interstate, not
He has to
ideal.
go to bed, yeah.
So it's really, things aren't really lining up for Richmond in this one, but we have been sort of on the green shoots watch
You
every
love
week.
the Richmond green shoots.
We love it. Every week there's a new player that pops up.
Yep.
They should get Lafau back. Is that right, Marcus?
Looks like it. He's
Yeah.
had two game. Well, one game with planned quarters in the VFL, and then the second game, Dreamtime. That was more of a routine game, and he actually played quite well. I think he kicked a couple in that Dreamtime win over the Bombers.
Yeah, he had 14 goals in his first 10 games, which was his first season last year. And everyone's like, "Oh, we finally got this extra guy that can kick a couple of goals a game." And then he did his knee.
I think it was, ACL.
ACL, yeah, which was absolutely brutal. But him coming back again, it's another green shoot, and you get a bit of positive vibes for Richmond, who aren't going that well.
And experience as well back in the side. Tom Lynch should come back in the side
Yep.
from concussion. So
That's true.
That's handy.
It'd be a handy in, especially against. Can he just hold Sam Taylor off? It'd be a big challenge for him.
Don't know about that one.
Don't know either.
What do we think? Last question I wanted to ask was Toby Green. Can he double down? Can he dominate
Double
again?
down.
Because like he obviously had half his mates were in the crowd. He had his 250th. He's the best ever Giants player. But like that was just such a big game. And then does he drop back down to earth because he hasn't been that good this year, or can he continue to keep that up?
I think he'll have a respectable game. I think last
Against
week
Richmond.
was like, let's stand up for Toby, and Toby fed off that a little bit. Like, no disrespect to Richmond. They did beat Carlton, but it is a lesser opposition.
Yeah, even though they were underdogs. But,
So, like,
yeah.
last week was probably a harder game for the Giants.
Oh yeah,
Toby
of
to
course,
step
of course.
Step up.
Yeah.
He's going to step up for it. This week, might not have to.
yeah, he's
That's
just
what I'm
good.
trying to say.
It's just
You
gonna
look
be
very
Toby-
confused at me, stats guy.
Don't worry, I'm there.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Yeah, it's just gonna be Toby doing Toby things. I reckon he'll have 20 and 2.
22. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what he needs to. I know he's getting
22
older,
is tough, though.
but he needs to get around that 15 and 2. I think most games. That's just what they need from him. I know he's getting older, but he should do that.
Yep.
Tips and margin, lads, for GWS Richmond. I'll start with Marcus.
I'm gonna go 50 points to
Ooh.
the Giants.
Yep. Big one.
I think it's just they're much better side, and it's gonna be tough. Richmond away from home after getting up for such a big game like Dreamtime.
Yeah, I think 5 goals for GWS. I think Richmond can be hang around a little, be a little competitive. They've shown that this year.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go Giants by 35. There's been a lot of games where Richmond in the first half bring the pressure, bring the speed. Even likes of like Seth Campbell, right? Mansell, they know how to kick a few goals, but it's always in the first half, and then they sort of drop off. So I think it could be pretty close for the first half because the Giants haven't been that impressive. But I'm going to go Giants by 33. They'll just kill them in the second half. There we
Love
go.
it.
There we go. All right, next game, Sydney versus Adelaide, Saturday night, 7:35, back at the SCG. There's a lot going on in this one. Marcus.
There is. It's actually quite a tasty Saturday night matchup.
It is.
Although it might not look it on paper, considering how the form that Sydney have been in and Adelaide's good form.
Yep.
But Sydney do enjoy a good record over Adelaide. They've won the last 6 meetings. Can they make it 7?
That really surprises me.
Yeah, they've won 6 straight against the
One of
Crows.
them was helped from the umpires.
Ben Keys.
That Ben Keys. Was it Ben Keys one?
Keys.
Yeah. That was
How
wild.
many times have we brought that up this
Oh,
season?
I know, just
Ben
we
Keys
or
point.
him?
Are we
It's
Adelaide
probably me.
supporters? Are we close to
I'm
Adelaide?
pretty sure it's just stats guy.
I love a bit of Crom. I love a bit of Crom.
But Sydney, again, Callum Mills. Heartbreak for Callum
I
Mills.
know.
He just can't get a run
Heartbreak.
inside.
Just don't bump anyone.
Yeah, well, I know, but he just can't get a consistent run on the side.
That's his fault.
Well, that is his fault, but still. Can they
Skill
cope,
issue.
Can the Sydney defence cope with the Adelaide forward line? Because they've been on
Yeah.
fire recently.
I think
we expected the tours for Adelaide to go incredibly well, but
Even
as
the
you guys
smalls.
mentioned on the Sunday show.
Lukey Pedler, my fan favourite.
Well,
He's got a
also,
couple.
Rochelle kicked 5.
Yeah, but Lukey Pedler kicked 2.
Yeah.
No, Rochelle was awesome.
Yeah, I think that we're going to touch on it. I think every Adelaide preview is their forward line. There's just so many options. If Thriller doesn't get you, Fogarty will. If Fogarty doesn't get you, Rankin will. If Rankin doesn't get you, Rochelle will. I haven't even mentioned like 4 other people who could kick a couple of goals.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's it. If Sydney want to win this game, they've just got to play an absolute defensive scrap against this Adelaide team and make it ugly as hell.
An old school John Longmire game, if you will.
Bring him back for
Where
this game.
he literally would put 20 players behind the ball. And
Stoppage central.
Yeah, they actually could use that take. I don't know if that's their
20
style.
players behind the ball.
There's only 18 on the ground. But
But if
Yeah, I
it
don't know if
does,
that's their style.
if they do go to that style, do they win that style? Like I'm not even sure. Adelaide's depth in the midfield.
Nah,
is
Adelaide can
crazy.
still take
Like,
over.
We're talking all about Adelaide's forward line, but In fact, they've got the third best defense in the competition as well.
Oh, McAllion.
That's a great point.
And this raises eyebrows for Sydney because Sydney went from having the best offense last season, scoring 100 plus for fun, to now just scoring on average 77 points across their last 7 matches.
Good stat.
And they've only won one of those, I think. So
It's brutal they literally have so many injuries, so many suspensions. Like their forward line is just, it's not a forward line. They don't have a tall forward at all, really. When you got Hamling who played forward for the first time a month ago, you've got Aaron Francis who was playing in there. That's always played backline as well. It's a tough.
yeah,
it's
Marty
tough.
coming in and then coming back out with
again.
suspension.
Yeah, it's brutal.
But they will regain McInerney in a positive news for Sydney from suspension.
he was good at the start of the year.
But boys, if the Crows win this away from home, are they a genuine top 4? Like, yes. Are we banking them?
I'm not
Top
banking
4?
them,
They
but
still
they-
got West Coast, Richmond, and North Melbourne to come in the second half of
I'm
the
not
season.
going to say I'm banking them. Like, I wouldn't put it in my lock of the week if I was doing that. But I'd say that more than likely.
Are we underestimating them as a top 4 team?
A little bit probably.
I still think the Dogs.
So I think I've still got Brisbane, Collingwood, Dogs, Geelong.
Yeah,
And I think
It's
Adelaide
hard to push one of those.
Adelaide can be 5th or 6th best for me.
Yeah.
But just because the other teams can beat the bigger teams consistently, I think. Whereas I don't
me,
know if Adelaide are there yet.
They're on the same level as the Suns for me, which is just outside that 4.
I
know the Suns are in the 4,
Yeah.
but I question whether the Suns can stay in the 4.
No, I agree with that one. Yeah, for sure. We love this guy. Our executive producer Olivia behind the camera loves this guy as well. The desk, Rory Laird. He loves playing the Swans.
How's he got a feature?
Because I looked up, listen to this, boys. The leading disposal getter for the Crows in the last 5 meetings with the Swans was the desk.
The desk.
Laird. He averages 33 disposals in his last 5 meetings with the Swans. So, why not? We got to give him some love. He's had a great career at the Crows, and we give him a little bit of crap sometimes that he's not going as well and things like that.
I don't think we give him crap.
I don't know. I just feel like we do. And
He's in the twilight of his career, so he's getting a little bit forgotten about.
never underestimate the desk. I still want to know why he's called the desk.
I think he's just built like
because he
that.
looks like a
Yeah,
desk.
but you don't know. No human looks like a desk. Do
Yeah,
they?
well, I mean, Josh Begley for the Bombers, his
the
nickname was
fridge.
the Fridge.
Yeah, he looked like
So-
Yeah, but a fridge is at least tall. Like a desk.
He was
Josh
small,
Begley
though.
was small.
What,
Yeah.
what is Rory Laird's body like this?
It was a mini fridge. His stats guy's normal fridge, actually.
What, Begley?
Josh Begley, yeah. Small.
Small.
Oh, fuck.
You know what that Roy Laird stat does tell me, though?
What does it tell you?
People in Sydney hate office jobs.
They had the desk. There we go.
Move on.
That's not great.
Yeah, let's move on.
We didn't even give him anything there. But I want you to give me something. Your tip and margin, please, sir.
Oh, I'll give you a tip. Crows 22.
I'll give you my tip. It's Crows by 12.
Oh, why you guys made that sound so weird. I'm gonna go Crows by 15. They'll get over the line, and at the SCG, it's not that easy to travel to, but Crows will get the job done. Hey, Leo, quick question. Do you know what the ASX means?
Do you mean AFLX?
No, mate. The ASX, the Australian Stock Exchange.
Oh, man, I'm absolutely clueless with that stuff.
Well, lucky for you, Stockhead is a free website that gives you everything you need to know about punting stocks on the ASX.
Damn, that sounds pretty good. Where do I check them out?
Check it out via stockhead.com.au, and it's even easy for your little pea brain to understand.
Damn.
All right, Sunday fun day, as Leo calls it.
Sunday fun day.
Melbourne versus St Kilda. This one is in Alice Springs, actually, at TIO Traeger Park. The D's play 1 game a year. They're the last 4. Melbourne, they've kept their finals hopes alive. They've been unbelievable. They're the equal most points over the last 6 games. They've been so good. And that major reason because of that is Cozzy Pickett. He is one of the best players in the competition over the last month and a half. He's averaging 2.2 goals, 20 disposals this season. He's just been unbelievable. Would every team want Cozzy Pickett right now? And would every team would trade for him? I think you would. Like, he's a freak.
He's electric. He's classy. He is a real barometer for him.
Yep.
And it's a reason to watch Melbourne. To watch Cozzy Pickett play.
He's doing Melbourne a favour, I think. He's bumping up his price if he does leave at the end of the
Yes,
season. So
he
at
is.
least Melbourne might get something even better in return.
And it's exactly what Melbourne needed, because most teams, the guys that kick the 4 or 5 goals are the big forwards. They don't have the big forwards at all. So the fact that Cozzy is capable of doing that helps him so much.
He's in my all-Australian forward line as well.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, he would be.
I think most people would agree on that. Just a bit of a matchup here. Not a matchup, just guys going head to head. Cozzy versus Jack Higgins. So Cozzy obviously averaging the 2.2. Higgins is averaging 2.6 goals. He's got 28 goals in 11 games this year. Who kicks more goals in this one, do we think?
I think Higgins has been fantastic.
He's been
this
so
season,
good, yeah.
But I think Melbourne will give Cozzy more chances at goal. Higgins gets starved at times, so I think I'm with Cozzy on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm going with Cozzy. I think it's just TIO Traeger Park as well. I just think Melbourne's small defence. We saw Jack Higgins. He's got kept very quiet against Gold Coast.
Yeah, first game he hadn't kicked a goal
And
all year. Yeah.
I think when you got that Melbourne defence led by the likes of Christian Salem and Bowie,
Yep.
I just think Jack Higgins could have another
McVee
quiet
plays
game.
a good lockdown role.
He
as
does.
Well.
Yeah.
Higgins on that Channel 7 player show was very funny. He says whatever comes to his head, and I just love how he goes about it. Unfortunately, I'm going to read out some of the stats here. Polar opposite
Unfortunately.
for the Saints fans.
Unfortunately, I'm going to speak now.
Yeah, some people probably think that in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you want me to speak more. Polar opposite from these sides. D's have won 5 of their last 6. And the Saints, they've lost 6 of their last 7. Leo was talking about at the start of the year.
I think I've tipped them in all of those
You've
7.
tipped him in all 7. So you've got us probably on one tip and you've got him wrong on the other ones. And the other side, Ross Lyon. There was a lot of talk about him last week calling the Gold Coast Nepo babies. He needs to back up his chat a bit. I'm all for him being a bit funny, a bit cocky and things like that. But if you're getting smashed every week, you can't be saying that.
I know. If you talk the talk, you got to walk the walk.
Yes.
And does Ross have that about him? Does Ross Saunders have that about him?
Does Ross Lyon have aura?
No.
No, okay, there we go.
What's he going to say about Melbourne, though? What can he say?
They don't rock up
They
as
can't
well.
bring their cheese boards to Traeger Park.
Well,
They might fill out a crowd, but they might fill out a stadium for once.
at Traeger Park.
Kilda.
Oh, no, Melbourne, but at
Melbourne.
least say, I went to the
Saints
St
have
Kilda
been
game,
worse.
and
It was
that wasn't a
13,000.
great crowd.
Wait, were you there?
I was at the St Kilda.
You were one of
Gold
the
Coast game.
13,000.
Yeah, it was all over the Insta stories.
Oh, yeah. What did it say on the Insta story?
We'll move on.
Oh, I wanted to hear what it said.
I'll save you there.
Oh, damn it. We're obviously back at Traeger Park in Alice Springs. D's have won 3 of their last 5 matches there. So, sorry.
You said lost in the run sheet.
And I want to read that one again. They've actually lost 3 of their last 5 matches there.
there we
Sorry
go.
about that. But they have won their last 5 meetings against the Saints. So they're not going that well up in Alice Springs, but
They match up well.
they match up well against the Saints. So I think they'll go pretty well there. Should we just get into the tips and margin, lads,
Let's
or
do
any
it.
other thoughts? Leo, what's your tip?
Saints, no.
No, he stopped him at the Saints.
D's 34.
Whoa, are you okay?
This is the week Saints win now. That I've
Yeah,
tipped
'cause you
Melbourne.
didn't do
You okay? You feel a bit
100%.
warm, man.
You've touched me a lot this episode. I'm not complaining.
HR, get him in.
Off and
it's
on the
fine.
camera. D's by... I think this is light. This is a bit light for me. I said D's by 24, but I'm actually going to go D's by 50.
Spontaneous calls.
Spontaneous call.
double the margin.
Double margin.
Can that be a segment? We just have like a spontaneous call and we just think of first thing that comes into our head.
I think that most of the things that you say on the couch are the
Cheese.
first things that come to cheese, because he's a cheese board. D's by 38. I think they're going to absolutely smash him here. The Saints are in shambles. I still love Jack Sinclair, Nas Wanganeen-Miller, but the depth isn't there and the goal kicking ability just isn't there. And the D's, they've shown they can kick a big score. So I think the D's by 38. All right. Next one on Sunday, West Coast Geelong, Sunday, 7:20 at Optus Stadium. Leo.
We're all over the Geelong forwards here.
Absolutely.
So Geelong have kicked 130 plus points in 4 of the last 5 against West Coast. I know I can bring stats too. I can do it. But these games have been at either Adelaide Oval or GMHBA. So it's a bit of a skinnier ground, not necessarily wide. The last time they played at Optus, they scored, I think it was around 80.
81, I think it was.
81. There you go. He brings the stats. So West Coast, they can somewhat defend that wider ground. But
Yeah, they're a lot stronger at Optus Stadium,
Optus.
but they still could get smashed.
with their outs, though, that's a big talking point.
I feel
So-
for the Eagles.
We'll obviously talk about Jeremy McGovern. He would have helped defend that wider ground. He's not playing. Waterman out for the season.
Oh.
He's been their best forward. He's not playing. Jamie Cripps and Owies are also out, which are just 2 important small forwards. I think with all those considered, I think Geelong will probably reach a nice sort of middle ground of maybe 110 points.
Only?
Well, I just think
They kicked
Eagles
120.
Eagles are at home. That's what I'm thinking.
Not only that, all those forwards outs as well. A lot of inexperienced outs. Experienced outs
Yes, yeah.
to already inexperienced side.
Yes.
They kicked
definitely.
126 points against the Dogs. I reckon 140 plus.
But that's on a skinny ground. I'm saying it's a wider ground. West Coast's home ground.
You've got a good
They
theory.
can defend a little bit better. So that's why I reckon the middle ground is the way here. 110 points. The Cats just have so many options going forward. Jezzo's hit form. I don't know. He's leading the Coleman.
How is he
And I
leading
feel
the
like,
Coleman?
for 3/4 of the season, he's been okay, but he hasn't been his best.
But even Cats fans have said they've got some Cats mates, fans that
you
are
don't
mates.
have mates.
Other than you, you guys don't even count apparently.
Nope,
you
we're
don't
work
count on the
friends.
couch. But genuinely, Jezzo, everyone knows he does this throughout the season. He'll have a 5 or 6 week period where he's like, I'm just going to go and chill on my farm and kick the ball over the dam and do some YouTube videos. And then I'll come back and kick 6 on your head. Like, he just does this.
Yeah, he's a weird man.
He is a weird man.
Pairing with Shannon Neal, who kicked 5 last week.
Yep.
Bit of a breakout game for him. I want to see if he can keep that up against West Coast. But then you also got Stengel, you got Brad Close, you got Myers, you got Ollie Dempsey. There's options galore. And I feel like if West Coast could maybe somehow quell Cameron and Neal, then someone else is going to pop up. So I still think 110 points on the cards, and that Eagles team will unfortunately just succumb to it.
Yeah, I know there's some big outs. I keep talking him up, but every week he's gotten slightly better. Sandy Brock. I just like the look of him.
Star,
He got a fair few intercept marks last week, and he's like trying to be that mini McGovern, I think. And I know he's a long way to go towards that because McGovern's an all-time great, but he looked all right. So there is the green shoots there for West Coast as well. Yeah, there we go. All right, tips and margin, lads. Are we thinking of belting or what's the vibe here?
Yeah, I think a belting. I reckon Geelong I'll go 40.
40, yeah.
Okay.
Why is that a belting?
No, I reckon you need a bit more than that.
Not necessarily.
Comfortable win.
I'm doing a spontaneous double the margin. I'm going 80 points.
Whenever he's winning the run sheet, he's gone double every time.
Yeah, why not?
Don't mind that.
Vibes.
80 points.
80 points.
I'm going to say by 50. Like Leo said, I think they're a little bit better at Optus Stadium, but it's going to be comfortable 50 points and the Cats get the job done. All right. We're done. I keep forgetting about.
We're not done.
We're not done. But for the
We've
previews,
done the previews.
we've done the previews because of the bye weeks. Obviously, there's a few teams not playing. Let's get into the lock of the week and the big calls. Now, a reminder on the locks. We're going to count them up throughout the whole season, and at the end, whoever has the least amount of locks will be doing a punishment. Just putting that out there.
Yep.
But we shouldn't really be getting any locks wrong. Just a heads up.
Yeah, no, for sure. What's your lock stats, guy?
We'll have to think about it on the fly. That is all good. No, actually not. Leo, what is your lock of the week?
My lock of the weekend is Josh Dacos to have 25 plus disposals against the Hawks. His average...
It's a lock, mate.
Average is 29 in his last 5 games. And also, I've just kept a watch on Hawthorn. They concede disposals to halfbacks. Zorko, 33 last week. And as we know, 2 weeks ago, the weapon, John Noble, 36 and 1,000 metres gained. So just a little watch, and I think Dacos 25 is an absolute certainty.
Ooh.
But I like the 25 plus, which is why I'm going to add that into my lock of the week. Brisbane bounce back at the Gabba and win by 25 plus points.
25 plus points. Okay, he's doubled down there.
Yep.
Let's go the line at 24 and a half then. Go
Yes,
Bombers.
Yes. I'm going to go Christian Petrarca is my lock, 25 plus. I think they're going to do so well at Traeger Park. He's back in form. He looks back to his fit best, so 25 plus is easy for track.
Spontaneous lock right there.
Hey,
that's what he does.
Yeah, there we go. All right, big call. Here we go. This is the week
he's getting pumped
where
up.
we get the big calls right. I've just got a good feeling about this one.
3 for 3 big calls. Is that what you're
3
saying?
for 3. I just know it's going to happen. I can
That's
see it.
never ever going to happen, by the way.
No, it will happen this week. Mark my words.
And never been done before. We're going to do something that's
in the
never been done
history
before.
of YouTube, no one's ever got 3 big calls right.
On AFL in one round.
Marcus, what's your big call?
I'm going to go Jezza Cameron boots 6 against the Eagles. He's coming off 6 and 7 in the last 2 weeks. And he also kicked 9, I believe, the last time he played the Eagles.
I believe you're right.
So 6 plus for Jezza.
Bad day for the Brock Star then.
Possibly.
Yes. Unfortunately for him, he has to face prime Jezza. Anyway, Leo.
I'm going with Logan Morris to kick 4+ goals.
Oh, that's a rogue one.
I'm looking at Essendon's back line. It's very undersized. Obviously, we talked about Zach Reed and Ben Mackay not playing. There's no Ridley. It's really just Laverde there for height.
And he'll
probably go to Hipwood. So there's going to be a bit of a mismatch at times for Logan Morris. And I'm a bit worried if he can kick straight or not, but I'm going to back him in. I reckon he kicks 4.
4. He's
like
really good. I love the.
He's great on the lead.
He's really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go the fan favorite. I talked about him last year a lot. He's back in the side.
Last year or 2
Pedler.
years ago now.
Oh, whatever it was. Lukey Pedler, 3+ goals. He had 2 goals last week. Shocked the world. Everyone was like, "Who's this guy?" Oh, yeah, it's the fan favorite, of course. But he kicked 3 goals. It was his career high against Port Adelaide in a showdown. I think it was last year or the year before. And I really think he can kick 3 goals in this one.
I reckon when you said
you're bringing up a showdown performance.
No, but Sydney are out of form. They can. I'll give you some more.
Okay.
Cozzy dominated, kicked 5. You got almost everyone kicked a goal against Sydney the other week, and Sydney are really out of form, especially on the defensive end.
I reckon ever since you said he was fan favourite, that he got dropped and didn't play again.
No, so I think he had one.
And I reckon even Adelaide fans have forgotten that he's in the squad.
They didn't forget him last week. He got 2 great snags.
Yeah, he took a mark in the scrum. Was like, who's this bloke? Does anyone know this bloke? Oh, Pedler. We traded him.
Put some respect on his name, mate. The fan favourite.
Right,
He's going
right.
to kick 3 goals. All right, that's the lock of the week and big calls. We're going to finish off with a bit of a Brownlow chat, lads. We haven't done this on the show for a while, but we usually touch on the Brownlow, the comment. We're going to be touching on a lot of things like that over the bye weeks. Who wants to lead this one with the Brownlow chat?
Marcus should lead it.
Marcus?
I'll lead it with an honourable mention.
Okay.
I'll lead it with an honourable mention.
Is
And
it going to
someone
be Dacos?
who I think could be in the top 10, possibly even top 5
Oh, okay.
as current stands.
Back yourself, mate. Back yourself.
I am going to back myself, and I think we need to talk about him more, and that's Dane Zorko. The man is 36 years old.
He's young.
He's got career high stats for disposals. He's got career high stats for intercept possessions, and he's got career high stats for score involvements as well.
Yeah, he's dominating. Since
halfback.
So since Kitty Coleman went down, he's been one of the best halfbacks in the business.
And he has. And I just think he's being underappreciated a little bit, I think, just generally in the competition. So this is where Brownlow votes. I honestly, I'd have him early double digits. I reckon he'd be towards the double digits mark.
Yeah, and Brisbane, they don't have anyone else that will take votes.
Yeah,
off
I think
him.
the mids will take the vote.
no.
I think he could
No, what
be
are
like.
you talking about? No, Dane Zorko's getting 3.
Oh, he probably will get 3 on the weekend.
No, he
against-
wouldn't.
against the Hawks.
Archie had 4 and
They
kicked 20.
don't do that.
Charlie
the umpires.
Cameron. Lockie Neal was better than Zorko.
You reckon?
Yeah.
No, I think Zorko was
Interesting.
better than Lockie Neal.
All right, great
Interesting.
chat.
Well, there you go. My honourable mention got kind of snared at, but that's my honourable mention.
That's all right. That's all right.
Good. I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Who are you looking at, Leo, for the Brownlow?
I think Zach Merritt.
Yeah.
I think he consistently polls in the top 10. And, the argument, I guess, would be, do Essendon win enough games?
Oh, I like this.
But,
They've been winning enough games.
if they get to, say, 11 wins, that could be 30 votes for him, legitimately. Because he'd poll in their
Probably.
wins. He could
It's not
poll
enough,
in a
though.
close loss. Should be. But it won't.
Should be.
Yeah, well, you have to get 45 votes in the last couple of years.
But in losses, he could poll as well. And I know there's, Nick Martin and Caldwell and Durham and these guys, but I just don't think there's that many dudes that can take votes off him. I think Nick Martin is really the only one. Whereas you look at other players,
Yep.
like people say Dawson, which is a shout, but, Rankin's there. I think if Thriller gets off the chain, they're looking at him. Fogarty gets off the chain, they're looking at him.
Who's taken votes off the likes of Nick Dacos?
That's a great point. Who is?
I think he's not as good as the favoritism suggests, but he just polls votes. Cripps polls votes.
Yep.
Like, there's just certain players that the umpires love. I'm not just going to mince my words there. They love him, and if they play decent, they get the votes. Obviously, Dacos is having an incredible year still, but I don't know if he should be the favourite.
Just off the cuff as well, just thinking of this one, I know there's a lot of players at the Bulldogs that takes votes off each other, but Ed Richards,
He's been
Would
rated
be-
the best player this season
He
by
has.
Champion Data.
Yeah, but
It's
champion
very high.
data. Do we really rate champion
yes.
data?
well,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, you have to
if,
say
he
that.
can, if,
I hate
he,
to say that.
if he continues to have 25 plus and 1 or 2 every game,
Yeah, but I'd give more votes to Libba than Ed Richards
wouldn't-
personally.
Yeah.
Libba's been their best
He's
player.
not really
in
a
my opinion.
vote getter, is he, Richards?
He's got
I
red
know
hair.
Richard stands
That
out with the hair,
helps.
but then
Adam
Adam stands
Cooney's-
out with the tats.
Adam Cooney surprisingly won a Brownlow, I reckon, because of his red hair.
Surprisingly won a Brownlow.
But
It stands out.
Red hair.
You know who does stand out, and I want to see win it?
Who?
Max Gawn.
Oh,
let's
Max
break.
Gawn.
Let's break the stereotype of the ball magnets, of the midfielders.
The
Yes.
bald magnets.
Well, he's a ball magnetism in himself.
That's why I said.
He said
what I
bald
said,
magnet.
bald
Yeah, I know you said ball. I know you said ball magnet, but he gets a fair chunk of the footy himself. According to the Brownlow medal predictor on the AFL website, look, we don't read a lot into that,
No, sometimes.
but he is equal second, 3 votes behind Jordan Dawson. And I don't know, I just think when Melbourne wins, they look like they're going to start and finish the season strong. If they can win enough games, he's the one who's always there. Melbourne win, yeah, Gawn 2 or 3 votes because he's just that good and he dominates every other ruckman apart from Jerry. But
Jerry
he's
could get a
very
few
good-
votes as well, but we don't
very
win
good
enough
as well.
games. Melbourne are winning. Do you know who the last ruckman to win a Brownlow was? It's actually very close to Max Gawn's
Oh, Max Gawn's height.
heart.
Oh, heart.
Well, I hope as a ruckman they're close to their height.
No, he'd be about the same height as Max.
Is it McKernan? No.
from
he
the
came second,
90s?
didn't
From
he?
the 90s.
Oh, no, Jim Steins?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
So
Oh,
Jim
really?
Steins, obviously Melbourne legend. Imagine if Jim Steins wins the last ruckman Brownlow and then Max Gawn.
That'd
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be
I'm
pretty special.
all for Max Gawn winning the Brownlow medal.
There you
I
go.
am too.
Yeah, I
I'll
reckon
give
that'd be
Bolt
good.
one.
That'd be good.
What about Bailey Smith?
I think Bailey Smith, we need to talk about him because
Well, actually, yes.
I know he's not always getting in and under. He just has the flair. He's getting 30 disposals every game. He's been the best pickup. He's in the team Geelong that
Has
are
he
in the
been
top
best
4.
pickup?
Who's been the best pickup?
Matt Kennedy for me.
McEnany more than we.
I've got Bailey Smith just ahead at the moment.
Just ahead.
Get a life.
They're both very good, but he may miss a week or two this week and next week. Yeah. He wasn't going to play for the Dogs game because he was carrying a bit of an injury.
Yes, sorry. I thought you meant
I think he'll be all right. I think he'll be all right.
Suspension or something.
But to be fair, if you're going to rest him, West Coast away trip to
they
Perth
might.
and playing West Coast is probably the one.
Very true.
Not for my super coach though.
No. Let us know in the comments who you think will win the Brownlow, who's the leader at the moment, and maybe even just let us know if a ruckman should be able to win a Brownlow. They should. A ruckman or a forward should be getting more votes.
A defender.
And defenders, exactly.
Yeah.
We should bring the golden fist back.
And
That's right.
utilities.
Yeah, exactly. The utilities.
And coaches. Yeah.
No coaches.
And
Fans. Yeah.
Anyway, you guys need to stop. That will do us for AFL Today. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you follow us on all the socials and AFL Today on YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for more footy content all season long. Subscribe, star, and like all of our shows on your podcast apps. That's Cricket Today Show, AFLW Today, Hold All Tickets, True Bloods, Honest Beers, and Footy Form Guide. Obviously, Honest Beers and Footy Form Guide. If you liked Wally on Sunday's show, make sure you check him out on both of those shows. Thank you very much to Olivia and Joe behind the camera. Thank you, Leo.
Thank you. And just quickly, should we mention our Fight M&D fundraiser as
Good
well?
Good call.
So we have a link that's been up on our socials that you can go donate to the great cause that is Fight M&D. Obviously, a very important cause for a lot of people. So.
No, great call out. We're also going to do an ice bath challenge next week, which will be on the socials.
Stay tuned on the socials.
So that'll be good fun.
Ooh.
Thank you very much, Marcus.
Thank you, Stats Guy.
And thanks to me, that's another episode of AFL Today. We'll see you on Sunday for the round 12 wrap.